Welcome to Encounter Wargaming. I'm Jay, and today we're going to be going back to some trash terrain by making some buildings out of little cardboard tins, just like this one right here. The piece I want to show you first for materials is really going to be the key to this piece. It's these circuit boards here. Now, they were throwing these out at work. I'm not really sure entirely what they are, but when I looked at them, I saw all these little mechie bits, all these weird little battery things, a little generator there, you know what I mean? I was like, immediately, this could be used in a terrain piece. And to take very simple things and make them look like they're supposed to be futuristic buildings as opposed to a can or a box or whatever you're using, is weird little details like this. So we're going to take our cardboard cans. That was the whole point of this. These are our simple Pringles can and a peanut can, in this case cashews. We eat a lot of cashews in this house. And then I've also just got some plastic tubes. These are actually the spools from the disposable dog poo bags, to be honest with you, but any kind of plastic tube will work. I've got various sizes, and of course I've just got a bunch of popsicle sticks that I will be using randomly as various parts of the structure. So that's all the materials we're going to use today. Standard tools, hot glue gun, of course. We're going to be dealing, of course, with skill knife and clippers of various types. There we go. I've just got here a piece of foam core. Like I've said in past tutorials, sometimes I just get small scraps and I just cut them randomly into ovals. This actually worked out perfectly for the peanuts and the Pringles. I didn't really even have to think about it much. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna start with. I'm gonna start by stripping these circuit boards. I really want to get the meticulous part of this job over with quickly, and then the rest is just easy from there. Pretty much everything on here is just held on by like some thin little wires like this, which you can either just pry back and forth and eventually they just kind of break off, or you can even take your hobby clippers if you want to try and preserve them and just trim them off like that. These weird little battery things, after a bit of jiggling and some pulling, they do come out very, well, I'm saying very easily. Easy enough. There we go. Boom. And so these little box things, again, you can just pry them. This generator thing I might have to work at for a minute, but I'm just going to go around and strip all the bits I think are going to be actually useful for this and just create a little pile of them here.
I like a plastic bag tangled in your tree branch, the can dragged by your just married.
Yes! Look at that. That's gonna look awesome on this terrain piece. Sweet. So I think we got enough bits. Let's move on. So while I was waiting for my hot glue gun to sort of heat up, I was just playing around with these cans on the piece that I had here. Like I say, I didn't cut this piece of foam core specifically for these cans. So I was just playing around, you know, seeing what fits the best. First I looked at it like this, but then I thought to myself, you know what? It might actually be better if the taller one is on the sort of wider part of the terrain piece, and that will give me more space not only to place models on the terrain piece, but also to play around with the base and get some cool, like, bits going on. Anyway, I had these spools, as I mentioned in the materials, and I've decided that I think I want to have them running as pipes between the two buildings, so I'm basically going to do that. Now, the easiest way to do that is actually by gluing these on to one of the two buildings before I put either one of them onto the terrain piece, just so it's easy to work with. And I think I kind of want them there. So I'm going to take my hot glue and put it on the tips of each of them. Do my best. Like, I'm just looking for the height right now. Do my best to try and put them as straight as possible against this can, like as far as 90 degree with the ground. Hold it on for a sec, and they should be good, and that's how easy that is. Alright, now I can actually fasten this to the base and to the other one. Just lining them up so I know exactly where I actually want to put them, and in fact, maybe I should glue the big one down first.
You look piles on the garbage on display for your celebration day. I'm the black twin, your stars.
If you notice, I'm taking the hot glue and sort of caulking around the can with it, as if you would caulking on a bathtub or a sink. That's just to make sure that it stays down. Since we are gluing metal to foam core, there is a good chance that the hot glue will rip off later. So not only that, but it'll also create that nice transition buried underneath our sand, and will save us having to do a lot of, you know, spackling or puttying or anything. Just kind of use the hot glue to do two things at once. Sweet, so now that that's in place, we can glue our other can.
You're the one having all the fun, but I hope that you'll enjoy it. This show I put on for you is so soft you put your fingers through now. You say your check's coming now and you ran out on the town. You're the king.
There's our building. I mean, that's the skeleton of it. So now we get to have fun placing bits everywhere. The first piece I really saw on these circuit boards that I really wanted to use was this transformer here. I think that looks absolutely awesome, and it's going to look sweet on this terrain piece. This is going to be the center point bit that's going to turn these from tin cans into actually something mechanical, futuristic-y looking. So I was playing around with them on the rooftops, and if I'm going to put them on either of the rooftops, it's probably going to have to be on the wide one, because I find on this skinny one there's still not going to be enough room to really place models on this terrain piece. If I can find Jim Bob. Here he is. It's real hard to place a model on there with this bit there. Whereas if it was on this piece, I still have room for the 32 mil base on either side. All four sides actually, so that's good. Or I could put it on the base of the terrain and just have it as an accent, which might actually be good, because if you look at it, Space Marine can just see over it. What about these plastic pieces that I took off the circuit boards? Interesting. It's actually really good height. And this one has like some weird wires sticking out of it and stuff. Alright, this is gonna happen. So, I'm just gonna go around with my hot glue and basically just glue on these bits wherever I kind of feel that they will work really well.
Well, we built the fire's still burning. We built the wheel.
This is actually looking like something, and it's looking pretty defensible. I want to add some details to make it look practical. So I've actually, now that I'm looking at it, decided that in order for dudes to get from here to here, there's going to have to be something to get up and down other than just going through the building, because who knows what the hell's inside these things, especially in the 41st millennium. So I've decided to put a little bridge here. Now I've just got this little piece of foam core. I would tell you to cut it to a specific size, but I didn't cut this one to a specific size. I just had it kicking around. That's what happens when you do a lot of terrain projects. So I've decided that this is going to be the perfect piece for my bridge. So all I have to do is cut a curve in to try and make it so it can actually fit snug around the Pringles can, and all I'm going to do for that is just put it on top and trace it out. I can do it anywhere on the can because it should be perfectly round, so as long as it is, it should be good anywhere. So I'm just going to cut that out with my knife.
Just broke down, torn down, useless old clown. Finally found himself a new way.
Alright, fits pretty snug. Obviously any gaps can be filled. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other piece, on the other can.
I fight the debris of our stupid lives. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Alright, and slide it between them, and it's a perfect fit. Look at that. And the rim of this can kind of covers any of the damage from my knife on that curve. This curve I'll just be able to hit up with some hot glue or something like that. And you can still see the nice pipe detail underneath. There's plenty of room to be able to see through for like a dreadnought or something like that height of a model. And wow, that really actually completes it quite a bit. Wow, it makes it look like it's actually a building now. So let's glue it on.
Pretty, she don't have to think, and if it's ever blue, she can pave it pink. TV's the only place she don't feel bad.
Just kind of look at it straight on and see that it's not level. I can just correct it very quickly as the hot glue dries. If you're not good at judging level, just try and line it up parallel with the base of your terrain piece. As looking at it as head on as possible. Boom. And just for security, I'm going to put some hot glue on the top and bottom of this piece. Also to seal in the gaps. And you can kind of use the tip of your glue gun to kind of wipe it at the same time when you're putting it on. So it literally is like caulking. And then when it's a little bit dry but not too dry, but also not too hot, just take your finger and wipe off the excess. Right, looking sweet. Now I was looking at these little pieces I got off the circuit board, and I was going to just put them around on the roofs and stuff, but then I thought these would be cool on the side of the building. And then when I looked at them, I was like, you know what, this would actually be better as a ladder. That's kind of what inspired this bridge actually to start with. So with these, because these cool little wires sticking off the sides, I can actually puncture the Pringles can with them. But at the same time, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of the round part there, the cylindrical part, so that it sticks on, but these stick in. And I'm just going to build them all the way up. I've got 9 of them, so I think that's more than enough. I probably only need 4 or 5 steps up this. So let's do it.
And have yet to make. Well, I've wasted most my life on anger, but I give thanks to the change that brought me here. To the wall I hit, my friend, and we will surely meet again.
Nice. That looks awesome. That's gonna look badass once it's painted. Sweet. So I don't know. I don't think we really need a whole lot more detail on this. I suppose I was going to use popsicle sticks in the first place, so what I'll do actually, since I don't like exposed foam core, I never like exposed foam core edges, is I'll use it to cover up the edges on the bridge, just make it look a little more manufactured. And all I'm going to do for that is trim the circle end off a popsicle stick, hold it up next to my bridge to sort of eye up my distance, about there, cut that end off, dry fit it. That's pretty perfect actually. Now, before I do that, as I've done in past tutorials, I'm just going to trim off the edges a little bit, whittle the edge a bit just to make it look like there's been a little bit of damage, whether wear and tear. Cool. And then just run a bead of hot glue along the back and stick around. Make sure to clean off any squeeze out. It's okay if it's on the bottom. You don't really want a lot on the top, especially in this case. Sometimes you do, but in this case you don't. Nice. That looks sweet. Same thing on the other side.
Can't tell, it's too soon. It's too soon. It's too soon.
Alright, so now I've laid down some paper, I've got my PVA glue, I've got my playground sand in a nice little container, and then a palette here with a brush. I'm just going to go around and paint all the areas that I want to be sand, and then start laying down some sand.
You need to push, you need to go. Needs routine, he needs to grow. Well, I'm sorry I wasted your time. Well, I'm sorry you wasted mine. Get organized and knuckle down.
Right, now that I've got the entire base done, I've actually decided that I want to do a little bit more than that. All the other terrain pieces that we've done on this channel, I've done a lot of overgrowth. I've tried to do it very much like any structures have been retaken by the landscape. And so because of that, I don't want to leave any of these surfaces kind of untouched. I think I actually want to put a lot of dirt and grit on the bridge, as well as quite a bit on the roof. I mean, I'll leave a little bit of the metal, but for the most part, I want to make these look the least like tin cans as I possibly can. So, I am also going to paint, like I said, the bridge, the rooftops, and throw some sand on those. So let's do that. Now we're gonna let that dry and hit it with a coat of brown paint.
Oh wow!
If you guys enjoyed that little trash treasure terrain tutorial, basically that's only the first half, guys. If you want to see how I'm going to paint it, I'm going to paint it up to match all of the other trash terrain pieces we've done on this channel. Just to keep a coherent table theme going on. So tune in next week when we'll paint the building up, wash it, do all the cool foliage and all that stuff, and make it look wicked awesome and blend in with the rest of our terrain pieces. If you love our terrain videos, please hit subscribe, hit that little bell notification so you will be notified every time one of our videos come out. Battle reports, terrain tutorials, rules reviews, unboxings, whatever we do, all the things that we do, our podcast, it's all on the channel. If you really like our terrain tutorials and our other videos, please go to the description below and check out our Patreon page. On there is the list of all of our goals as well as all of the pledges that you can give. And for as little as $1 a month, you have access to these videos early. You get 10% off at thewarpainter.com, as well as a whole bunch of other cool perks to being a patron of Encounter Wargaming. And it just goes a long way to help us do what we do on this channel, to upgrade our equipment, to bring you guys more terrain and more other tutorials, new miniature games, all the stuff that we do. Patreon makes it possible, so thank you to all the patrons. And to get back to our point, if you guys want to see me paint this video next week, please hit the subscribe button and we will see you at our next encounter.
Like a monkey in a rocket on his way back home. Okay.